Title: She Rises. The Life of Elara. Prologue: Before the storm. Before she was anything, a daughter, a friend, a fighter, a healer, she was simply Elara. Born in a forgotten corner of a broken city, where dreams were either caged or stolen, Elara came into the world under the dim flicker of a streetlight and the echo of sirens. Her mother named her after a star, not because she was poetic, but because she hoped Elara would escape the gravity of their world. But gravity doesn't let go easily, and neither does pain. Chapter 1: The House with No Doors. Elara's first memory wasn't of a toy or a lullaby. It was of screaming. Loud, unfiltered rage crashing through thin walls and slammed doors. Her father was a man who never found peace. Not in himself, not in a bottle, not in his fists. Her mother was a woman who wore silence like armor and bruises like secrets. By the time Elara was 5, she had learned 3 things. 1. Never cry where he can hear you. 2. Walk quietly even if you're scared. 3. Sometimes love hurts more than hate. School became her only escape. Not because it was warm, it wasn't, but because it was distant. Her teachers called her smart but distant. Kids called her weird, always drawing pictures of wolves and writing poems about freedom. No one knew she slept with a kitchen knife under her pillow. One night, at just 10 years old, she ran. Not away from home, but into herself. She stopped talking. She stopped trusting. She smiled when needed, nodded when spoken to, but built walls so high, even God would have had to knock first. Chapter 2: Bruises in Bloom. As a teenager, Elara began to realize her pain was not a weakness, but a blueprint. Every trauma became a lesson. Every wound a weapon. She began reading everything she could get her hands on, not to escape, but to understand. Psychology, philosophy, poetry. She studied the minds of people who broke others, and the hearts of those who survived it. She volunteered at a women's shelter at 15. Nobody knew she was one of them. She held babies born of assault, cleaned blood from bathroom floors, and listened to stories that mirrored her own. Every voice she heard became a piece of armor around her spirit. Chapter 3: The First Fire. Elara left home at 18. No goodbyes, just a duffel bag, $86 and a journal. She slept in shelters, then on couches, then in her car. But she never stopped moving. She started college, took night shifts at diners, worked weekends at bookstores. She failed classes, got fired, got rejected, but she stayed lit with a fire only pain could ignite. One night, while walking home in the rain, she saw a girl crying outside a locked apartment building. 14. Frightened. Familiar. Elara bought her food, let her cry, and whispered something she had never told anyone. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become after. Chapter 4-50. Becoming the Flame. Elara built herself through scars. She became a social worker, then a counselor, then the director of the very shelter she once slept in. She wrote books about healing, created programs for abused girls. She laughed again. She danced. She fell in love, got her heart broken, and loved again. She miscarried. She spoke at graduations, at funerals, on stages she never imagined standing on. And each time, she started by saying, I was a girl no one believed in. Not even me. But here I am, still rising. Chapter 51-100. Womanhood. Elara faced menopause, heartbreak, betrayal from friends she trusted. She lost her mother to cancer, held her hand in hospice, forgave her father long after his death. She mentored young women, rescued girls from trafficking, built schools in villages where girls had never been allowed to read. She got older, wiser, softer in tone, sharper in instinct. She began painting, gardening, writing letters to her past self, and always, she reminded women, you are allowed to be more than your survival. You are allowed to thrive. Chapter 101-142. The Legacy. Elara wrote her memoir at age 72. It became a global bestseller, not for the fame, but because it gave women language for what they thought was unspeakable. Her story lived in shelters, schools, libraries, prisons, and bedrooms across the world. She trained other women to take her place, not to carry her legacy, but to build their own. And when she became too old to walk, She sat in a chair by the window and told stories to girls who needed to remember their power. Chapter 143. The Last Sunrise. Elara died on a spring morning. Peacefully, with music playing, surrounded by women who once thought they were broken. They buried her under a tree she planted in her 20s. No grand statue. Just a small stone that read, *****. She didn't survive the fire. She became it. And every girl who walked by that tree knew she could rise too. The end. But really, the beginning, ****.